So, spark of creation. Do y'all feel you have that inside of you? I can tell you that one of the things that when I was driving here this morning, the reason why the sunset was so important to me was because it was about that. I knew what today's talk was about. I knew what today's whole service was about. And it is about that thing inside of you, that spark, that thing that just lights up inside of you. As he says in the song, a bit of the fire that lit up the stars and breathed life into the mud. I want you to think about that. There is something in you that made the stars and the universe. There is something in you that breathed into the mud and you came forth. There is something within each of us, this creative energy, this vibrant life force. There is something within us that has allowed us to get to where we are and consistently gives us the ability to create anew. Gives us the ability, no matter how old we are, no matter what has happened, no matter how young we are, to be the most brilliant mind on the planet, knowing that every other mind is the most brilliant mind on the planet. Dr. Walker was so right that day. If only I had understood it that many years ago, who knows what I would have done. And yet, I understand my life unfolded perfectly. So there is that in you. There is that undeniable essence in you. I see mountains and I want to climb them. Anybody? Okay, 5 of you want to climb mountains. I'll find things y'all want to do. You know, I see rivers and I want to leave shore. I know some people don't want to leave shore. They feel comfortable, but I don't. I want to get out there. I want to do everything possible, except snorkeling. Got it. I heard one of you just say that. That was funny. But I want to do, it's why I do it every time. It's why I keep doing it. Because there's nothing that I don't want to try again. There's nothing I have within me something that constantly is moving up, bubbling up, asking me to pay attention to it and saying, there's more. There's so much more. So this month is about taking action. Taking action. There's another lyric in the song, and it says this: I am an echo of the eternal cry of let there be. Now just think about that for a minute. Stephen Schwartz is a brilliant master wordsmith. From the moment in college when he wrote Godspell, all the way through to today when Wicked is one of the biggest hits around the globe. This man knows how to craft words that inspire, ignite something in us. I am an echo of the eternal flame of let there be. Let there be. Now, I want to point you to a word there. Let there be. It doesn't say I am an echo of the eternal flame of make there be. Y'all get the difference? How many of you are still trying to make things happen in your life? Same 5 people. We should meet after this, you 5. So 5, 5, and 5. Thank you, Terry. So, it's not make there be, it's let there be. And I think one of our biggest problems with taking action is that we don't know what that means. That we honestly think that we have to make things happen. I, James Mellon, all by myself, have to make things happen. Now, do I have to direct things sometimes? Yes. Do I direct my mind where I want it to go? Absolutely. Does that make it happen? No. What makes it happen is this brilliant thing, that spark of creation, that creative essence that is always, always, always flowing. It is always doing what it does. We just stand in the way sometimes, don't we? Sometimes we try so hard, we want so much to change something that in trying to change it, we are literally holding it in place. And it's not easy, I know that. It can be difficult to just let it be. It can be difficult to just stand and say, I trust and allow all that I am to move through me, do its perfect work, and use me in this world to my highest and best. Those are beautiful words. It's a great affirmation. I will definitely go back and listen to it, see what I said. But affirmations, what do affirmations do if they're not backed by a belief that actually activates them? So, the title of my talk today is Ignite Your Flame. Ignite your flame. Now, the first part of this has to be that you acknowledge and know without a shadow of a doubt that your flame is within you and can never, ever go out. Whether you're in the dark or not, there is a breathtaking sunrise. Whether you are facing east or west, there is a breathtaking sunrise. And it goes without a doubt. Someone said to me last night, they said, "Do you live what you teach?" Well, of course I'm going to say yes. No, the answer is yes. I do live what I teach. But the question stopped me for a moment. And I thought, do I live what I teach? And I did take a second, and I said, you know what? I absolutely do live what I teach. And one of the most important things I teach is that there's always going to be more to know. I said, but I'm very emotional. It's been a very emotional 24, 48 hours having the opportunity to be just in nature. I do live what I teach, because what I teach is oneness, is that I am one with everything on this planet, and that there is only love, and that there is only this incredible, exciting energy, that creative energy that creates everything. And I not only teach that, I believe that. And I not only believe that, I live from that. And I also believe that my life is unfolding perfectly. And that means even when something shows up and I have to say, this is the perfection as it's unfolding, I have to know the answer is yes. Now, I also know that if I want to change something about it, I can. That's the power I have. So, what you believe inside of you, it's not enough to just listen to the science and hear the words and think they really make sense. And I know they make sense to most of us. But if you're not using it, what's the point? If I'm not living it, what's the point? How could I possibly say the things I say and act in a way that says I don't believe what I'm saying? It just doesn't work. And do I get caught off guard in a moment and think, wait, why am I saying that? I don't believe that. Yes, I do occasionally. Anybody else? But not a lot of the time. My numbers keep shrinking and shrinking and shrinking, and I want them to shrink. So it's one thing to honestly believe that I am part of all of this, and that spark of creation that's in me is all-consuming, and it is ready and willing to do whatever I ask it to do. It's one thing to know that, it's another thing to live that. And that means I should never, ever be doing something that does not benefit me. I should never, ever be allowing myself to participate in something that does not bring good to the universe. I should never, ever allow myself to settle when I know who I am. If I'm going to say that's who I am, how could I make those agreements with myself? How could I make those compromises with who I am? I am an eternal flame of the echo. Let there be. Let there be. Let it come. Bring it. The more contemporary version, bring it. Bring it my way, because I am equal to it, whatever it is. Now, the spark of creation. What ignites your spark? I told somebody my title today was Ignite Your Flame. They went, ooh, what's that about? I said, not what you think. And yet, maybe it is what you think. Depends on you. Take it personally. But what ignites, what sparks your flame? What ignites your flame? What is it? What inside of you can you not live unless it's there? What's in you that you must do? Living lives of quiet desperation, where we just do things because they're there to do, is just not enough. Not for people who know who they are. It's not enough to just stay in a job that no longer serves you when there's something in you asking you to do something else. I so admire Sharon Kelly because She spent 40 years in a job that she absolutely loved. Yeah, challenges, sure, everybody has challenges, but a job she loved that excited her. So much so, it was difficult for Sharon to decide when to retire. This was the question all last year. I should retire, but I love what I do. I should retire, but I love what I do. I mean, that's a problem we should all have. I can retire, I can afford to retire, I've put 40 years in, but I love what I do. Oh my God, I want that for every single one of you. I know I feel that way. I'm looking at not retirement. No, I'll never retire. And Sharon's not retiring, she's just done with that particular chapter. But I love what I do. I absolutely love what I do. But I can tell you this, there is something pushing up inside of me that keeps saying to me, there's another way to do this. There's a better way to do this. There's a bigger way to do this. There's a more contemporary way to do this. And I feel it. I hear it all the time. As you know, we have changed our service in the last 2 years exponentially. It just keeps evolving and changing. I thank a lot of that to the breathtaking brilliance of Karen Mitchell saying yes when I asked her to join me. And I know you all feel that way because I hear it all the time. So what's yours to do? What is inside of you that is just waiting for you to ignite it? Now, I'm going to get a little scientific here to the best of my ability, which means I'm going to really paraphrase a lot of things. So I want to talk about a little lighter. What ignites this lighter? What causes the spark? There is a piece of lead inside of that lighter that, if it were its purest self, it would already be in flame. Because we don't know this, but metal like that, in its purest sense, is nothing but flame. It's nothing but energy, heat energy. Then it's covered. It gets a covering. As soon as it hits the oxygen, it oxygenates, and then it gets a covering, like a rusted covering, they call it. I want you to think about your own mind that way. There is that in you that is just nothing but flammable energy, bursting with energy and light and creativity and substance and movement inside of you. That's who you are. But we have created a covering to it. Now, in order for this lighter to light, we must flick something against it. And when we flick it against it, the spark shows, because we show the pure side of the piece of lead. When we show that pure side, it has to shoot out a spark. That's the spark of creation. Inside of you, it shoots a spark out. How many sparks do you think you've already had just in these last 10 minutes? Your ideas are the sparks. When your ideas come to you, you have uncovered that pure essence of yourself and allowed yourself to spark an idea. It happens all the time. All the time. I've been preparing the Sondheim dinner at my house, and I spent the last 2 days working on the songs and how we're going to present them and what the story is, and I decided to literally go back and tell the story of Stephen Sondheim's life. And as I did that, it'll be a 2-hour, 3-hour dinner. No, I'm kidding. It's a very good condensed version of this. But as I went through his life, and I watched this man, and I listened to this man, and I listened to what he did, and I had to laugh because when it got to 1980 and the time I worked with him, it was just this one little line, and then that happened. And then I was like, and so you have it. So this life that he had, spark after spark after spark, and not all of them succeeded. In fact, the man had so many failures. So many failures, and I started to think to myself, how many people quit after the first failure? They just can't deal with it. How many people quit? Stop doing what is theirs to do, because it didn't happen right away. If Stephen Sondheim had stopped doing what was his to do when it didn't happen right away, he would have stopped way back when he wrote a musical called Saturday Night that never got to Broadway because the producer died and nobody else wanted it. That could have turned him into a mathematician, which is what he was studying. He could have just gone along in his merry way, and we would have never had Send in the Clowns. So what sparks are inside of you that just keep igniting? What keeps coming up for you? Now, this lighter, it's not enough to just slam the piece of lead or to take your mind and allow the spark to come forward. That lighter only produces a flame Because when you press that and click it, you're also pressing down on releasing that which gives it the flame, the fuel. That's where you come in. Bless you. That's where you come in. Your job is not just to ignite the spark, but it's to ignite the flame, to direct it, to aim it where you want it to go. That's what we do with that lighter, don't we? We aim it, exactly. Here comes the fuel, aim the spark, whew, flame, success. How many lighters have you had that ran out of fuel? Right? Or those sticks that we use for our fireplaces, and they run out of fuel. They're useless without the fuel. I can still get the sparks, but the spark needs the fuel. The spark needs you to allow, to let there be. If you're willing to let there be that in you that just consistently brings forth who you are, and you are all of it, then when you have an idea and you spark it and aim it where you want it to go, now we manifest. I have just described spiritual mind treatment, just so you know, in a very different way. Your mind, every time it says what it wants and backs it with the fuel of belief, creates the flame that is your life. That's how it works. You all get that now? That's how it works. So the fuel that is mostly missing from our lives is belief. Believing. When I sat on that side of the stage at the Pantages Theater, I was literally freaking out because there were just too many lyrics. God bless you. There were just too many lyrics. And I knew that Stephen Schwartz, as a really dear friend of mine, he couldn't really watch it then, but George Firth was there, who wrote Company with him, and I was like, oh my God. And David could see it and came in and, helped me. Well, I went out, and the fuel did come out, and I did sing, and I know I sang some very crazy lyrics that rhymed. I'm really good at that. I can sing the wrong lyrics and still rhyme them. It's a gift, can I? Have you noticed that? Yes, you have. So, my husband, my poor dear husband, whenever we sing a duet, are you here, Kevin? Thank God. So, whenever we sing a duet, there he is. Whenever we sing a duet, I constantly will make up lyrics and just make up. And we did a show in Philadelphia once, and I was the star of the show. I was the hired man. And he had a scene with me. He had one scene with me, and I never found the time to learn the dialogue in the scene. And whenever we got to that scene, I would give him the strangest lines to try to react to. And he would just, on the way home, he'd be like, could you just learn the cue line? I was like, I'm sorry, I'm in the middle. I've been blown up. I'm laying there. I just can't think. So just say whatever you're supposed to say after whatever I say. I know, right? If some actor did that while I was directing, it would not go well, would it, Bob? Would not go well. So I've really been giving a lot of thought to that, which is why I'm doing a one-man show where no one's going to know if I'm saying it right or wrong. It's perfect. So that spark in you, that thing in you, by the way, just like the piece of iron, it's always lit. There's something to say. You are always lit. You are always lit. You are always ablaze with creativity and ideas and success and prosperity and love and health and passion. You are ablaze with that at all times. Mankind has created a covering to it that has literally made it for some people so difficult to get through to the original material, to spark it, and then when we do, we don't allow the truth to come through, the belief to come behind it, so that it literally catches flame. So what's our job? What does our job become here? Well, Terry's 5, 5, and 5 is a great way to start looking at what it is we have to do. We have to find the time, which is why Kevin and I got in the car and drove to the desert. Whenever we get off the 111, whenever we get off the 10 onto the 111, how many of you go to Palm Springs? Do you feel like this? When you get off the 10 and you hit the 111, it's like the clouds open up and the choir starts to sing. It feels that way because you are surrounded by mountains, and it's just... You just remember who you are. You just remember. So the way you can get to that place where you are literally a flamethrower of your life where you literally say, fire, fire. I want financial fire. I want it to just blaze with prosperity. Anybody want that? Yes. Anybody want to blaze with even more vibrant health? Yes. Right, okay. Anyone want to blaze with more love? Yes. Really? No? Who wants more love in their life? Yes. Okay, but here's the thing. It's all there. The infinite essence of it all is right there within you. I keep grabbing my chest. It's right here within us. It's everywhere within us. All we have to do is, number one, be willing to flick it. Be willing to go in and say, here's what I know. This is what I know. I am love, and I am open to accepting all the love that is mine to have. That's saying it. Now, the fuel is, do you believe that? Or are you still believing, I'm a little bit too old to fall in love again? Or, it never works out. Oh, I attract the wrong people. All of those things are the coatings you're putting on that piece of perfect flame. The spark of creation. I got a feeling in the tips of my fingers. I got a feeling in the back of my brain. And that's as much as I remember. Are you ready, really ready, to take action? Yes. 6, 7, 8. Okay, we've gotten to 8. It's getting better. Taking action means that you have to be willing to say, let there be. Let there be the flame in me. Let there be that which I am, hindered by nothing. And let there be a mind that knows what it wants, says what it wants, believes that what it wants is its to have, and then step out of the way and watch the fire as it just ignites through everything around you, your health, your love, your prosperity, your creative expression. Who you are here to be is yours to be, and it's time to be it. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.